Anthony Davis. 0 second half points. That is not going to cut it against virtually any NBA team, let alone the reigning NBA champion. But hey, the NBA is back, and this was a very entertaining regular season opener. I did watch it live. We're going to give it a second watch through here. Sometimes you miss things, you pick up on them in the highlights. It's always good to get some commentary of what you saw on this game. So without further ado, Nuggets versus Lakers, rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. Let's get into it. And Anthony Davis, despite being a complete no-show in the second half, was fantastic to open this game. 17 first-half points, including this emphatic dunk off the pick and roll with D'Angelo Russell, who was another player that really did not play well in this game. The stats may suggest otherwise. I think he finished with 7 assists, D'Lo, but it was pretty ugly, specifically down the stretch. Nikola Jokic getting to work right away there. Opening the season with a triple-double. Nothing new. That's what we expect from him. Taurean Prince had a fantastic game. One of the best corner three shooters in the league from a percentage standpoint. But he got it going from everywhere behind the arc tonight. And I know a lot of people, myself included to an extent, were expecting the Nuggets to come out slow here. You know, the championship hangover is real in the NBA. There are plenty of stats to back that up. But they looked fresh. They looked like the more complete team. Obviously, you're coming off a title. The chemistry is going to be 100%, and the Lakers added a lot of new pieces this year, so they're not going to be quite there. That is a really good dish. It's a no-look dish, and a great cut from Michael Porter Jr. I think he's really evolved his game as a cutter, and something that not a lot of people talk about with him. With Michael Porter Jr., a lot of the focus is going to be on the shot volume, the shot quality. You know, the basketball IQ is questionable at times, and the defense, obviously, early on in his career, he was an extremely negative defender, still is for the most part, although I thought he was good down the stretch in this game, but it's the little things that make you a much better player, and his evolution as a cutter is something that has made him so much more dangerous. We're already at the end of the first quarter here. These are very short highlights, I guess, by House of Highlights. Reggie Jackson, I thought he played a very solid role. Obviously dropped LeBron. We all know he stepped on his foot. I think we'll see that later. Christian Brown, another guy. The stat sheet didn't really show it. I think he finished with 5, 3, and 2, but his production went far beyond that. I thought he was really good. Played with a ton of confidence. Took it to the rim. There's the drop. In the moment, I was screaming just like everyone else, I'm sure, but you know we're going to see him step on the foot there. What's he doing? He kind of like kicks out with the foot and leans into it. Oh, man, that was funny. Anthony Davis impacting the defensive end. I thought AD in the first half, and that's a great coast-to-coast take from LeBron. Still got the strength. I thought AD in the first half really was asserting his dominance on the offensive end, but as you can see defensively, he's just getting bullied. You watch that play in slow-mo, too, and Jokic got a little bit of a bump with him, but I'm glad we're not calling ticky-tack stuff like that, especially offensively. If you're able to just bully someone in the weight room like that, I think you got to respect it to an extent. And AD was definitely getting bullied. That is a nice move from Christian Wood. Faking the Euro, putting it down with the right, and going past Jokic, using that athleticism. I was impressed. And Christian Wood only played 15 minutes tonight, I believe. Didn't have as huge of a role as he would like, I'm sure, and knowing Christian Wood, will probably hear him voice that opinion at some point this season if his role continues to be relatively minimal. But what I did see from him, I thought he did the right things for the most part. LeBron, I think Reggie Miller said during the broadcast that LeBron thinks he's getting fouled on every drive, and it's like, hey, is this your first time watching LeBron James? It's kind of how it goes with him. But great instincts from Austin Reeves. We didn't see many Reeves highlights in the first half. That's because he didn't really get it going. I thought it was very apparent right off the bat the ball wasn't coming off of Austin Reeves' hands the way he wanted to with his jump shot. Sometimes that's just the case. You can warm up and your shot's not there. I thought it can look fine. Everything about the motion can look fine, but you just saw the ball come off his hands. You could tell he wasn't really confident with it. He missed a couple of free throws down the stretch. But the touch just seemed off for him. But I give Austin Reeves credit because he still had a solid game. Finished with, I think, 15 and 5, something like that. And that is technically offensive goaltending, but it's such a crazy dunk that, refs are going to miss calls. In the grand scheme of things, it didn't affect the game. Cam Reddish getting away with not being called for a clear path there. I thought Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was also absolutely fantastic. Really was working in the mid-range tonight. Jokic from 3. Can't leave him open like that. Nice little play from Gabe Vincent. Keeping that right pivot foot down, getting his defender up in the air. I thought you can make a case that Gabe Vincent should have been in the game over D'Angelo Russell at the end, specifically with the consistent mistakes and defensive liability that Russell was, which is so funny after he says, hey, I want to be Derek White, who's obviously one of the best defensive guards in the league, as D'Lo gets the 3 to go there. We know what D'Lo can bring offensively, though he was relatively inconsistent tonight. Defensively, still a bit of a turnstile. Great move from Christian Wood there. That's what I'm talking about. Knowing he's got the length, the slow spin, he understands he's got the edge there. And pretty much everything spinning on Christian Braun. The FU 3 wasn't actually, didn't look down at it. But he looked fresh tonight. Again, and what is this from D'Angelo Russell? Let me just... I'm going back here. I want to see this play if this was on him. Okay, that's actually not on D'Angelo Russell, and I'm glad I watched that back. Gabe Vincent completely lost his defender, so my apologies, D'Lo. He actually saw that and almost came over to recover there. I still don't think he was great in this game by any means, but that play was definitely not on him. Jokic getting it going. Great play. Obviously, Murray couldn't get that to go, but what a play from KCP. Taurean Prince again. That was a huge 3. That really kick-started this mini run for the Lakers that got them back into that game. Great read from Austin Reeves. Even if he doesn't have the shot going, most nights he's going to be pulling that when he's playing with confidence in his midi. But noticing the cut from LeBron, being able to make that read live, it's not easy. Aaron Gordon. We're getting spoiled by Aaron Gordon on the Nuggets over the last year or so because he just makes the right play every time. That was a big shot. Aaron Gordon's stats were fantastic again tonight. He did everything he needed to do. We're talking about cutters. Michael Porter Jr. probably is learning to be one of the better, or learning to improve his off-ball cutting by watching Aaron Gordon, who might be the best off-ball cutter in the league. Helps when you're playing with a guy like Nikola Jokic. Ambitious lob there from Jokic, getting it back, putting it in. Yeah, 119, 107. I thought the Lakers came out way too flat. They made a couple of runs to try to get in this game. LeBron played well. Austin Reeves, despite not really having a shot, played well. Anthony Davis, 70 points in the first half, no points in the second half is absolutely inexcusable. It's a significant factor. You could put this loss. You never want to put one single loss, especially when there's not a game-defining play at the end on a single player. But when your second best player, and in reality, when he's healthy and playing at his best, he's probably their best player, puts up a goose egg in the second half, that's just inexcusable. So it needs to be better from LA all around. Jamal Murray, didn't give him enough credit for what he was doing in this game. Nikola Jokic, triple-double, fantastic. That's what he does. The role players were good. Aaron Gordon was good. Michael Porter Jr. didn't shoot that well, but defensively down the stretch, I thought he played very well. Christian Braun, stats weren't there, but the hustle and what I saw from him on the court passed the eye test. Can't overreact from one regular season game on either side, but the Nuggets looked much fresher than I was expecting, and the Lakers looked a little bit more down or deflated than I was expecting. Stuck in the mud to an extent. I will be back tomorrow, probably reacting to the Boston Celtics taking on the Knicks, maybe reacting to Victor Wembanyama and his regular season debut. We'll see how it goes. Enjoy the rest of the games. The NBA is back.